The wait is thankfully finally over. After many months of being leaked, teased pair is being showcased out there in the wild. Even a weird Singapore Hyper Strike Shock Drop in-store release. We now will see the Nike SB Dunk Supreme Rammellzee Low and Highs release for week 2 of Supreme Fall Winter 2023. Let's get right into the video. So hope you guys are having a great day. Again, remember there was no drop yesterday. If anyone was super confused, then that's okay. That is so cool. That is okay to be confused, but don't be confused anymore because the Nike SB Supreme is coming out next week on Thursday, week 2 of Fall Winter 23, and I'm super excited, guys. This is going to be a crazy drop. Definitely are going to see a lot of people on the site, so be sure you are ready. I made a video a long time ago, 2 years ago, about how to check out on Supreme fast, and a lot of that still holds true. Make sure you're checking out on the highest speed internet you have. If you have fiber internet, your fastest internet is not on your phone. Trust me, your fastest internet is directly plugged in to your router gateway on your desktop with an Ethernet cable, getting about a gigabyte down and up. But yes, internet aside, looking at the 2 pairs of dunks, they both look really amazing. I really do like the high top art. I've said this a couple times in videos in the preseason and earlier on that I just like the art a little bit more on the highs, but I really do think the lows are the ones that people are gonna go after. And guys, in my experience, don't be disheartened. If you haven't copped Nike from Supreme before, trust me, it is okay. You can cop manually. Let me show you what I mean. So as some of you guys may know, I have definitely been copping Supreme for a couple years. Since 2014, my first piece was technically spring summer 2013. But anyway, I've copped every single pair of Nike Supreme collabs manually. I've never used a bot. I've always just purchased from supreme.com with one exception that I'll show in a second. These are the Blazers from, what was it? Fall Winter 22? I want to say these are already about a year old. How do you think these are aging? I think they look pretty all right. I don't wear these too often though. I do kind of wish I had the blue one. I think I would have worn the blue one a little bit more. This is that one exception, the Air Jordan 5X Supreme. These I actually copped from Nike.com. Yes, believe it, back in the day, Supreme collabs used to release occasionally on Nike after the Supreme drop. So I was able to scoop these up manually, and now this is like a plus $500 shoe that I got for $160 plus tax, whatever shoes used to cost, Nikes used to cost. We have these right here, Supreme Nike GTS, right? A little low-key skate shoe. And I believe that's my entire Supreme and Nike collab collection. But I go with all this to say, like, you can cop Nike dunks manually. You can do it. We're gonna do it here on the channel, so be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay up to date on all news regarding the Nike SB Dunk Supreme for Fall Winter 23. Let's get back to the video. I basically say all of that just to say you guys can cop these shoes manually. We're gonna do it here on the channel, and I think it's gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait. Supreme Drops says right here, gotta light up that Supreme candles and pray for the release. So maybe we can light up that Supreme candle. Maybe that could be our new ritual with the prayer candle that we copped for week 1. But looking at some on feet pictures of these, man, I think the black has to be the one you go for, right? To me, it's kind of a no-brainer. Both are very good. And if you guys don't know the history about Rammellzee, Supreme Drops is a fantastic thread about the artist, and Supreme has collabed with this artist many times, starting back as early as 2003 when Supreme founder James Jebbia purchased a photo or a painting from Rammellzee. And yes, that started off their kind of friendship relationship, and then Rammellzee actually did a Supreme limited edition backpack collection, a couple skate decks, small set of items, and then there was some other collabs, I think one in 2020, maybe a few years back, and Rammellzee has since passed, I believe. But here is the white pair, These ones look really good too. Like, don't discount them. I think the gum sole does so much for a Nike Dunk. Like, man, talking about the gum sole is so nostalgic. I just feel like no one really says that much anymore. I don't know. I don't watch a ton of sneaker YouTubers other than myself. Like, I watch, what I mean to say there is I don't watch other YouTube sneaker videos. I usually just kind of make my own, stay in my own lane, check out my boy Ernest Khan's live cops and stuff like that. But for me, usually I'm not watching the newest guys because, quite frankly, I'm just focused on what I'm doing over here. Don't need to focus on what other people are doing, watching, creating, and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. These are just so sick. I'm really excited for this drop. And just looking back, we have a big kind of post right here that says, for 2023, Supreme collaborated with Nike SB, Nike Skateboarding, if you guys didn't know that, to release a pack of dunks in 2 variations, the highs and the lows. These shoes feature Rammellzee's artwork, which was displayed at the NYC Supreme store as mentioned earlier. The printed material on these pairs includes the mythical Rammellzee alphabet, as well as monkey faces and various other elements all blended into his distinct style. So this right here is that actual painting that Supreme purchased from Rammellzee, or this was displayed maybe in the Supreme store for a certain amount of time. Maybe they didn't purchase it. Not quite exactly sure how that happened, but it just looks so cool. I love the overall art and design behind these sneakers. It's just such a good looking pair. Supreme has been known to kind of sometimes add, like with their dunk highs, like for lovers, or a bunch of text on it and just craziness. And you don't really need all that when this shoe just looks so good just from the printed, painted canvas material, and then the Nike Dunk just being solid monoblock around it, like right there on the toe box, and leaving even this part, the heel arch right here, this like C-pillar, whatever you call the back part of a dunk, that's just painted over, which looks sick. Same thing right here. Can you imagine if this was all a color right there on that rear kind of heel support back part of the midsole? It would kill the shoe. The shoe would suck. If it was only the artwork on this mid paneling and the rear heel, it would not be as good at all. So I'm really glad they didn't do that. And just looking at more pictures up close by Supreme drops, what is your guys' favorite pair? For me personally, I said it again, I love the artwork on the 2 or on the high a little more, but the artwork and overall package on the 1 I think is a cleaner picture. The colors are a bit better. The black on gum with the gold and just the black swoosh looks so good. But this one is good too because it's kind of blended into the shoe a little better because it's a lighter color. It kind of matches with the background. Either way, I damn near want to go for both pairs. I think that would be incredible to have both pairs to review on the channel. We'll see how the drop goes. Like if I'm feeling really cocky, maybe we'll do that. But I honestly don't want to miss out on one pair just to go for both of them. If I get any indication of stock number, etc., I'll definitely consider it. But a lot of people are saying like, POV, you're opening the Supreme website, trying to cop the SB Dunks. And I kind of get that, like definitely last week when we went for the live cop, it was pretty crazy. And we definitely had some interesting choices to work through, which right now, the choice that I took was use Firefox. So right now I'm using Firefox, which is pretty dope. And yeah, Supreme drops also right here. We're kind of done talking mostly about the Supreme Rammellzee, so I'm going to talk just a little bit more about Supreme news and kind of drop list stuff, what we can expect later on. But I guess to close off this point, these dunks are really solid. I think they're going to do well over the short term for resale, over the long term as more of a long-term hold. If you can get your hands on both pairs and you want to put them in the vault for 5 years, that would be the best way to get the most amount of money back. But also in reality, in today's economy, copping the shoes to resell immediately, no shame in that. They're going to be sought after and people are going to cop them regardless. For me personally, I'm going to cop these probably to wear unless resell's crazy. Because man, there's something about the Nike Supreme Dunks that I really like, and I don't have a pair of Nike Supreme Dunks right now, man. My first one was the highs that came out 2 years ago or a year ago. I missed out on the when they re-released the elephant, and like that's crazy to me that they even did that. I still one day want to get those kind of old school classic Supreme pairs. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it, guys. Yeah, talking about KDs over here. Jeez, dude. Yes, KD4s. Man, did you guys go for the Kobe's yesterday that came out on that shock drop? That was fucking crazy. Yes, before I end, guys, this is the thread by Supreme Drops. I'll put a link in the description, but we're just briefly going to look at all the pictures. This is Rammellzee, super sick. And I always think it's really good to get kind of an understanding of the artist before you go out there and get the product, you know, even if it's just a little cursory information. And this kind of stuff right here is just so neat that Supreme Drops does. It's so informative. You guys can pause the video if you want to just read it on the screen, and it just talks about and explains the history behind the designs, the artist, the meaning of the art, and kind of just what we're dealing with here. Like, this is that canvas that James Jebbia purchased for $35K, started that relationship. There's some skateboards and hats. Supreme released some other things with Rammellzee, including these like handmade backpacks, which these are damn near just works of art, you know, seriously. These are probably $5,000-$10,000 pieces. I don't really know how many in existence there even are. There might even be just like 5, you know, that kind of thing. And then going into the drop that came out post passing, we've also had a Rammellzee photo tee, right? One of the more kind of low-key ones that probably a ton of people didn't know who that was. I remember kind of briefly seeing that picture on like Twitter, but at the time I was not copying Supreme. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have that in my collection. But yep, that's gonna pretty much do it. We do have a quick little video from Rammellzee. Let's see what he has to say. Amen, dude. Amen, brother. Well, hope you guys have had a great week, are gonna have a good weekend, and are excited for the Supreme Rammellzee dunks. I know I certainly am. Like, there's just something about Supreme dunks that just really does it for me. I don't know, man. Like, they both look really, really good. It's a fun, exciting drop that will certainly bring people outside of the Supreme brand into our little territory. So hopefully we can welcome them in here, welcome them in, make them comfortable. We keep them comfortable. It's been your boy Thomas, and I'm out. Peace and buckers. See ya.